Hey friends, how you doing today? Two topics. One, real quick, the real estate market in January 2020 is on fire in Dallas-Fort Worth. And two, I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at a transaction and how buyer A lost their dream home and buyer B got it. I'm going to give you some tips on hopefully how you can prevent that from happening to you when you're in that situation. So before I get into that, I'm David Russell with the Russell team. Thank you for watching this short video where I talk about buying, selling, and owning real estate. If we can help you, please call, text, or email us. All right, the market, Dallas-Fort Worth 2020 is on fire. Check out the stats down below. Unemployment is low. We're creating about 1,000 jobs a day in Dallas-Fort Worth. Unbelievable. The distressed property sales, 7% of total sales, distressed properties, all-time low. Foreclosure rate, all-time low. Delinquency on mortgages, all-time low. So as long as we continue in this vibrant economy, the real estate market's going to continue to pull alongside of it or along with it. So I get a lot of calls, a lot of text emails from people wanting to know, when's it going to stop? I don't know. My crystal ball doesn't tell me that. When the economy slows down, nationally, might not even impact it here. When the economy slows down here, then we'll see a big shift in the real estate market. Until then, it's time to sell, folks. Let me move on to the next topic. So this is a real world look behind a real estate transaction. Maybe you guys hear some of these stories, maybe not, but I love giving you an inside look at what happens in our world from the back end. So we had buyer A submitted an offer on one of our transactions or one of our houses. We negotiated price back and forth, which is a very slow, tedious process because the buyer's agent was not responsive. They were very friendly when we first initiated, or they initiated contact, but they were not super responsive about replying to text, email, or voicemail. So we agree verbally upon a price and terms of the contract, and we're just waiting on the buyer, to send that to us so that we can get the seller to sign off on it. Now, here's the first tip. Verbal agreements in the state of Texas are non-binding. You cannot buy a house on a verbal agreement. If your agent makes a verbal agreement with the listing agent or a buyer's agent, whichever direction, doesn't matter, and you don't have written paper saying that these are the terms, the verbal agreement means nada. That's what happened in this case. We had a verbal agreement. The buyer's agent was very slow in responding to us with the documents. Had they sent over those documents last week on Wednesday, all the terms were agreed upon in the afternoon. If they would have sent those documents over Wednesday afternoon, they would have had a contract on Wednesday night. Unfortunately, the buyer's agent did not send the contract over on Wednesday. They did not send the contract over early Thursday morning. Mid-Thursday morning, guess what happened? We got another offer. A much better offer. So we notified agent A via text, email, and voicemail. We are ceasing negotiations. We have another offer. We are entertaining multiple offers at this time. Does your buyer wish to amend their offer or keep it as is? And we're making a decision this evening at 8 o'clock. Text, voicemail, email. Do not hear from the buyer's agent all day Thursday. Not a word, not a peep, nada. We don't receive the contract. We don't get a call. We don't get a text. We don't get an email. We get nothing. 8 o'clock, we accept the other offer because it's a better offer. We then notified agent A that we accepted another offer. And unfortunately, agent A's buyer lost their dream home really because the agent was non-responsive and did not have a sense of urgency. Many of you know when you're working with me and we're out looking for a home and you say you want a home, we are on it. I'm pushing that paperwork to you quickly. And it's not because I'm trying to slam dunk you. It's because I want you to get your home, the home that you want. I want you to have it. So I'm quick to get the contract because this is what happens. Someone else slips one in behind you, or next to you, if you will, and it's a better offer, and the seller takes that offer, and we're out. That's why I have the urgency. In this case, the agent did not have urgency. Her buyer lost the house. Agent 2, they got their dream house. They came in knowing it was a multiple offer. They came up on their price, and they won the contract. So the moral of this story is your agent needs to be responsive. Your agent needs to have a mindset of urgency. When you are submitting an offer, if you really want the house, you need to have a sense of urgency. I got to get these paperwork. I got to get this over. I have to get this signed and executed as quickly as possible so that you lock the house down. Then you can go through your due diligence, but you need to have urgency to get the house locked down. It's going to be a tight market this year, folks, and if you're out buying houses, that urgency is going to be critically important. These folks lost out because, one, their agent had a misunderstanding about Texas law, and they assumed that a verbal agreement meant that there was a binding contract, and there is not. And that's outside of my control as an agent. We are responsible for, or we have a fiduciary responsibility to our sellers and to our buyers. If our sellers say, no, I want to look at the other offer, that's out of our control. Our job is to just notify the other agent that that we're not negotiating anymore. They're rejecting that agreement, and there's multiple offers. It is the seller's decision as to whether or not they want to entertain that offer or not, the second one, and how they want that to process that, not ours as agents. So my verbal agreement or an agent's verbal agreement with another agent means zero when it comes to buying and selling homes. It is the buyer and the seller who make those decisions. So I hope this helps you. And just to recap, because that was a little bit of a tangent, you as a buyer should have a sense of urgency in getting the contract signed. The same thing with the seller. If you've got an offer on the table, you should get that contract signed quickly because that buyer can go away real fast. And you want to make sure that you lock that in if you're agreeable to the terms. So you want to have urgency. You want to be sure your agent has urgency. That's critically important to securing the home of your dreams or selling your home so you can move on to the next one. If I can help you in any way, please call, text, or email me. I'm David Russell, and I do truly hope that these tips help you in your real estate endeavors. Take care.